Go ahead, Chair.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'll call to order the meeting of the Governor's Commission on African Affairs emergency meeting on this day, September 9th, 2025 at 12:26. I would like to take a roll call. Myself, Chair Benson, present, Adedana, Commissioner Adedana. Present. Commissioner Njukang is present. Commissioner Wambui is present. Commissioner Tope is present. Commissioner Morafat is present. Commissioner Barry is present. Commissioner Darcy is present, and Commissioner Jones are present. So there's we don't have any agenda laid out, but the agenda for today is to discuss the proclamation event slated for September 13th, as was planned by the special committee. But the purpose of the meeting was I had a call yesterday with the executive director, and I made certain assertions to him. And I said I wanted to have a greater conversation with the commission. And before I get back to him today, the event as slated, we were advertising it and pushing it because we thought the governor was going to be present. As we all know, a proclamation can only be done by the governor himself. So from what we have, we found out the governor will not be present. And we did submit the requests all the way in June. And I wanted us to have a greater conversation as a commission to decide on what to do. My my initial decision was to postpone or cancel the event and then focus on the other event that we have. But I wanted us to bring it to the commission as a whole, to have a conversation and just to hear everybody out, because I told the executive director we'll get back to him today. So the floor is open for the conversation. Thank you.
Oh, Chairman Vince, thank you so much. I'm Jukang here.
No.
Question, is there a new date that we could focus on, or there's an obstacle for that as well, or is not available the whole month?
From the conversation I had yesterday with, from the conversation I had yesterday with the executive director, he said that if we don't proceed that day, he cannot guarantee any other day because the governor may not be available. So that maybe we should have planned it without the governor being available. But again, if we had known the governor was not going to be available, we would have planned it differently. At least the special committee would have planned it differently. So, but that's what I was told.
Okay, thank you. And when we say plan it differently or plan it without the governor, is that possible? And if so, how would it look like? If I may.
That will be that question will be turned over to the chair of the September committee, which is Commissioner Barry.
Okay, thank you.
Questions, comments?
I'm not sure if Fatmata is speaking. She keeps muting and unmuting, so I'm not sure if she wants to say something. I'm sure she wants to say something.
Yeah, Commissioner Berry, if you're hearing us, maybe you should log off and try to log back on if your audio is not working.
Commissioner Ajayi needs the Zoom link. He just sent it in a WhatsApp chat, the request, and I don't have it on my phone to send to him.
Who was that needs it?
Shola Ajayi,
Okay, I'll email it to him.
I'll let him know. Cheryl, is there also a call-in number attached?
Can you hear me? This is
Yes.
Fatmata.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I don't know why I had to call in with the phone. I'm sorry. Okay, so the whole idea was a proclamation and celebration, and so it's been billed as that. And if it's just a celebration, it's one thing. But as a proclamation and celebration and invitations that we put out, we had dancers prepared to dance the governor into the building, into the event, and without him there, it defeats the entire purpose of a proclamation and celebration. If we want to do something later where we're just celebrating African Heritage Month, then we can do it on our own. And, just do a celebration. And we all come together somewhere, like how we did last year. We came together, we met up at the winery, we had a good time, we had good food, and we celebrated our own heritage. We can do that and plan for that later. We can choose a date that we want to do. But I agree with the chair. I think it's pointless because there are many people who we've already reached out to, businesses we've reached out to. I know Maureen has done a whole lot of work in reaching out to nonprofits and businesses to and build it to them as governor proclaiming September as African Heritage Month, only the second time in the history of the state. And for us to not have that, I think it's a disservice to the community and to the people who are expecting this to happen. A celebration is different from a proclamation. A proclamation is something that's saying, we, the state of Maryland, recognize September as African Heritage Month. A celebration is us coming together as a people and celebrating our culture and heritage. We can still do that if we want to. But I agree with the chair 100% that this particular one, in conjunction with GOSI and Howard Community College, cannot happen the way we say we wanted it to happen. And I would support his decision 100% in that respect. And I would ask us as a commission to come together and schedule and plan for a celebration that reflects our heritage and the pride that we have in us as Marylanders, in Africans and the diaspora and in Maryland.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And it's disappointing. I don't want to get on the soapbox, but it's very disappointing. I'm sorry, because we already have other communities who have been recognized, and I really think that this is a time when we should speak up as a community. Okay, speak up as a community. I'm not saying it's not picket signs. Sound like it, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's make sure that we are able to communicate the disappointment that we have in this instance and make a request, a very steadfast request that communicates our disappointment, that we don't feel like we are prioritized, right? The first year it happened, we sort of threw it together, and it was great, and we appreciated the fact that it was never been done before, and this governor did it for us, and it's very much appreciated. But at the same time, the same way other communities have been able to be proclaimed their month, ours needs to be done the same way. We do a lot in this community. There are activities on a regular basis going on. All you have to do is read the chair's report every month, and you see the level of community engagement that this commission does. You see the level of community engagement that this commission actually put forward, right? Not just these current ones, but the things we've done over the last year, traveling out of state under the guise of the commission and doing all that we are to make sure that this administration is promoted as an administration that cares about this community. And so it needs to be shown in that light. And I'm asking us as a commission to express that to our leadership in this state. And I hope that we do that as one voice, and it's not just a couple of us saying things. And thank you so much, Chair. I turn it over.
Thank you, Commissioner. Barry. Noted. Thank you. Any other comments?
I have a question more about the way forward if we cancel. Is a future celebration going to happen within the month of September rather, or are we going to be celebrating ourselves like in an October or in a November? That has implications for the working group, that has implications for the commission. And so I guess what are we committing to in absence of, by breaking the commitment to this weekend, what are we then committing to? I would feel more comfortable if I knew what the game plan was, and knowing why we're breaking it. I mean, I understand the optics of why he's not going to be there. At the same time, the month is almost half over. It takes a lot of work to put something like this together, with or without him present. I don't see how there's many days left to put something like this together before September 30th. That means we would be celebrating African Heritage Month outside of September, if my instincts are correct. And that to me doesn't look great either, to have a celebration outside of our designated month. It looks disorganized. It looks confusing. We're going to get questions as to if we're doing this in October or November, why is this happening now? So I'd like to get a sense of what the language is going to be around that, how we're going to communicate that, because we will inevitably get questions if we're going to be doing another effort next month or the month after, or at some point that's not September. And what are any potential suggested dates so that we have something concrete that we're leaving with and we're not leaving it to the wind. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So from my point of view, I don't, as a celebration, because it's very different from having the official come. I think as a celebration, I personally think we can do it in the next couple of weeks. This is a celebration. It's just us getting together and coming together. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could literally be what we did last time. And the people who, like the dancers, if we tell them we're shifting the date to this other date, and it's not a proclamation this time it's a pure celebration, I still believe we can do it. But I do believe that if for no other reason, I understand the caution, but at some point we have to send a clear message. Because if we just move on, then it almost appears as if it can happen again and we'll just shift ourselves to accommodate. And so, okay, fine, we're not doing a proclamation, and we just shifted to a celebration. But we need a message to go out to say that this event has been canceled and it's no longer a proclamation. And we will be doing another event somewhere else that's not as formal, that is a celebration. And we can do it before the end of September. All of us on this call have networks and connections. I know there are places we can call to say, hey, because all you really need for simple celebration is a location. And I know the people we already have who are dancers, at bare minimum, if we want to have entertainment, they will come. We have a DJ who seems to be really a good person who wants to promote African heritage. And working with the schedule, I'm sure we can find a date here in September. I know it feels like no, but I do believe we can do it if we all want to make sure we have a celebration in September. It's doable. I believe. I can't speak for the rest of the committee. So
sure.
I
mean,
for
I
the
think
rest of the committee, I can only speak for my point of view.
I understand that. I definitely understand the desire to send a message as a community. I also, how do I want to explain all the many things that are in my head right now? I think if we change the date, then we need a full-throated commitment from the commission that they're going to work to get it done in the next 30 minus 9 or 10, whatever date it is today, days. So what, 20-ish days? If we don't have that commitment that this is going to be a full lift on the part of everyone, then I would honestly caution against it, because this takes a lot of work. It's going to be more than just the commission. And also a reminder that last year, yes, it went incredibly well, all things considered. But we also, we did it on this exactly the way that you're describing it right now, which is through our networks, through people. There was certain paperwork and certain procedures that we were still learning that we didn't know. We literally did it off of the strength of who we could call and the love of our community and the community's love of the community. And so we were able to call in, hey, this venue, hey, this DJ. That being said, now we have procedures in place. Now we know what those procedures are. Those procedures take so much time, and they make planning, and they add so much time to planning, because there is now things that we have to file, things we have to submit, approvals we have to ask for. And if we could do it the way we did it last year, I absolutely believe we could do it by September 30th. We could do it at someone's house tomorrow if we did it that way, But now that we know what the procedures are, that's what gives me pause. If we're going to follow the outlined procedures about how an event should be planned, and all the people that need to approve things, and all the people that need to make flyers, approve flyers, disseminate flyers, that's way longer than 20 days. So that's what gives me the pause. It's not about what we can accomplish, because I know we can accomplish anything, and we already have. It's in the context and the confines of how we are supposed to work. That's what slows us down. And that's what gives me pause about getting things done in the next 20 days if we go by procedure.
Hello, everyone.
I agree in that respect as far as procedure, but I think because it's a lot of the protocol surrounds the officials, and they're not going to be an issue, right? They're not a factor in this respect. That makes it a whole lot easier and changes the entire dynamics. And that's why I think we just do it what we did last time, and we will succeed. We'll make it happen, and it'll be great. We will celebrate our Heritage Month. But Sylvia.
Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Darcy.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My own feedback is the timing of planning event. Lesson learned from last year, we were also uncertain of the location in terms of the proclamation and the governor's participation. And it was due to several interventions that we were able to have that event, the proclamation itself, at the governor's office. implementing the lesson learned from last year and to this year, the planning for this year was started very early. And the request for the governor's presence was also made very early. It's important for GOSI to communicate to the governor's office to let him know that Heritage Month activities are activities that it should be done with the respective ethnic groups in the state of Maryland, and they should automatically fit that onto his calendar, because it is not just disappointing to us as a commission, it is also disappointing to everyone who has planned to attend this event in one way or the other. It doesn't look good for us to go back now and start communicating to all these people who are looking forward to attend the event that the event has been canceled. People have taken off from work, they have adjusted their travel schedule, they have adjusted a lot to be in this, to participate in the event. And Commissioner Barry, I agree with you that the event we can still do the celebration, but let's face the reality of what Commissioner Adedana is speaking. You know, turning things around administratively, we are still being guided by GOSI. We are not an independent body. We are being guided by GOSI. And you saw how long it took for us to have flyers, for us to have the chains of approval procedures that everything has to go. I am going to be honest, if we don't have the event, if the event is going to be canceled for Saturday, then I don't have the bandwidth and the energy to commit to something after that. I want to put that energy to something that I know is going to work. It is very, very disappointing looking at the population of Maryland, of the African community in the state of Maryland, and knowing that this is an annual event and the governor has already made proclamations for other communities. So why is it that out of the whole 24 hours or within the 12 hours of daylight on the 13th, the governor's office cannot allocate maximum 1 hour for him to just be present, read the proclamation, and then, you know, go about his other activities for the day? They should also consider the morale of the community, how they are going to receive this information. It's not going to look bad on us. It's considering the negative publicity for the governor, which is not good. That's my own feedback.
Commissioner Sylvia, thank you for sharing your honesty about your bandwidth. That's what I was referring to earlier when I said we would need, a full, if it's not happening by the end of this month, we would need effectively recommitments between our own special working group, between this commission to do the lift. And I know, for example, because I saw Commissioner Dassey on Saturday at the health affair. There are people who we have worked, and then we have other things on our calendars. We have other things that we have to commit to for October, for November, for December, and so on and so forth. So that's why I want to make sure there is an audible, okay, I'm in to make this work, because if not, it will falter. And to the point of sending a message to the governor, there are many ways to do such a thing. And I'm not entirely convinced that the way to send a message to the governor that we're important is to cancel. There are many ways one could send a message that we're important. You could say that canceling and doing something by ourselves is one way of doing that. Another way of doing that is proceeding and just being very honest and saying, the governor, we put in a request. We were expecting that our request would be granted. It was not. And just being honest about the situation. And that's not necessarily to, we're not trying to invite criticism, but we also have to be honest with what has happened here, that we put in requests incredibly early. And, obviously the rest of the commission doesn't have the insider knowledge of the working group because we meet separately, but we had a vote as a working group about whether or not to have an event tied to the governor's presence or not. And it was a pretty robust discussion about do we do what we did last year, which is split the two and have a proclamation and have the governor do that and then have an event, because we don't know whether or not we can count on his presence due to his schedule. And also last year being an election year and him being, stretched across domestic travel and domestic media and all the commitments that he has to do, not only for a state, but also for a political party. And this year, the vote was to have both together. And we are now learning what the outcome of that is as both a working group and as a commission at large. And we also then have to ask ourselves, if he's showing up to other entities and other commissions and they're, and granted, I don't know his calendar. I don't know the last, photo op he was a part of with an ethnic commission. But, if he's doing that, what is it that we are not doing? Whether it's like through GOSI, through our own efforts. And again, is the message, I know the message you want to send, Commissioner Fatmata. I'm wondering, what is the best way to send that message? Is it really to cancel and we bear the brunt of that work? Is it to proceed and just be honest about what has happened? There might be a secret third option that I'm not thinking of, but in terms of sending a message, there are multiple ways to do that. And I also understand completely what Commissioner Sylvia or Dr. Dasi has said, which is, she has commitments after September. I do as well. Others do as well. How much more are we supposed to give after this year? And I also say that as someone who last year I was incredibly involved in the commission or in the working group, and this year I had to scale back because I had like personal life matters that took my attention. So I can't even say, what Dr. Dasi has said, what Maureen has said, you, Commissioner Fatmata. So again, if we're going to cancel and choose a new date, then there just needs to be a full-throated yes from a significant amount of people to make that happen. And then we move forward, and then that's fine. And if not, then we stick with Saturday. People show up, he doesn't show up, and we explain and we celebrate ourselves regardless. I mean, that's also another way to send a message. I think it could be done in multiple ways. I will ultimately support the chair, fellow members of the September African Heritage Month Working Group, and other members of the commission in what they decide or how they best proceed, or how they best decide to proceed or decide to proceed best. And I wanted to give that additional color content from our inside discussions about also how we arrived at where we are today too.
Thank you, Commissioner Adedana. Dr. Blank.
I was just going to share, align with what Commissioner Adedana asked, like what is the bandwidth of people to switch to implementing something new or different? I would not be able to at this point. I would, if we have to make a decision, which we've been on this call for quite a while now, we should move towards making a decision about what to do. But I would say to keep the date and to just be forthcoming in communications that this is being changed to a celebration, maybe where we are reflecting on a year of a proclamation, like maybe it's a remembrance, an anniversary, a reflection of the proclamation rather than doing a proclamation again. I think there could be some other ways to frame that. But I think if we cancel it at this point, that it reflects more on us than it does on the scheduling of the governor. And I'm not confident that we will actually put something up this month to celebrate our community.
Thank you. Commissioner Wambui, did you wanna, because you raised your hand, but I think you put your hand down.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a lot to say, but I'm gonna just limit. One, it's very disappointing as a member of the working group and also as a commissioner at large, it's really disappointing. We put in a lot of hours into this. So having said that, I guess we need to decide moving forward the commitment of whoever is gonna be available to do it, which I'm sure is not gonna be the same. And we all know, like honestly, we put a lot into it. So it's not gonna be the same commitment. But if we are to decide, let's decide way forward. And then I have a question for Gossi. I know a few months ago we were asked to give proposals for legislation stuff for next year. I'm sure some of us we sent in proposals. I for one sent in some proposals, and having the African Heritage Month proclamation was at the top of the list. I did not get a response if that was received. So moving forward, my request, and I'm sure if not all the commissioners, we would agree the proclamation to be added as a legislation under that. Because we don't want to have a repeat of this. Last year was the same thing as this, as right now. We had to move a lot of things around, but that would be my request, and just a guidance on that. And even the other thing, having open communication from Gossi to the commissioners and amongst all the commissioners, just knowing that this is important to us. And we all agree that we don't want to feel like other commissions have been put first before us. Naming two of them, Caribbean and the Asian one, they just did their proclamations like the previous months, like 2 months ago or 1 month ago. So just having this feeling again, I had the same feeling last year. I don't want to feel like the African community is not important. We are doing a lot to represent the governor out there in our communities. We do a lot. I can attest to that. So it's not a good feeling, just having the feeling that I have right now. And I'm sure other commissioners might feel the same way. But let's just find a way forward. Let's agree on it. And if we are moving forward and doing the celebration, the commitment, we should try, even if it's not going to be the same, but we should try to have the celebration and just celebrate our communities, because that's at the bottom line, that's what's important, our communities. And just having the recognition, it will be better. So Gossi, my request is that that should be communicated to the governor. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. I promised that this was going to be 15 minutes. Is pushed on longer. So I think we should take a vote. That we have two options. Option one is to keep the event and turn it to a celebration, another proclamation. And then the other option is to cancel and focus on the business forum. And because from what I hear, if this date is taken out, most people will not have the focus to do another one. So that leaves us with two options. So option one is to keep the current event and change it to a celebration. And then it will be incumbent on everybody to communicate that to all the people that they invited, so that they don't have the expectation, or because I don't believe in lying to people. I don't want people to come that day and then it looks like we lied to them. Or again, that can also be decided whether we should communicate that or not, or let people know the day of the event. Then the other option is to cancel and focus on the business event. So that's what we have. So okay. Commissioner Barry?
Yeah, like what you just said, I really feel like it's a really bad idea to have people come there expecting the governor to proclaim September, and he's not there. We can try to explain as much as we want. We know how people react. We know why people come to certain events. Unless we want to put another message out and say, this is going to be a celebration only, there will be no proclamation, the governor will not be there, and we'll do a public message. I just don't see it, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is people are going to go out and say somebody, the commission had a thing with the governor, and they didn't tell nobody the governor wasn't going to be there. So either if we decide you're going to move forward with this thing, then we have to figure out, is it going to be GOSI's responsibility to then now put out a message and change the event in writing from a proclamation to just a celebration and get that out to people. I just felt the cleanest way, and it has a double thing of sending a clear message, is to cancel it, because that would get out a whole lot faster than trying to explain that we're changing it because the governor won't be there, from a proclamation to a celebration. Just my 2 cents, because I think it's not going to look good for people to show up and not see who they took off to go come see, because that's really what it is. People are coming so they can see the governor, so they can take pictures with the governor, so they can say they were there with the governor. I'm telling y'all, that's how the community thinks. And I would rather the commission avoid that issue and have a party, a get-together in a couple of weeks. It doesn't have to be a planned whole calendar of agenda, people giving speeches and so on and so forth. And have a get-together and celebrate us. Last word on it, I promise.
All right. All right, thank you, Commissioner Barry. All right, so the moment of truth. So all in favor of moving with the going along with the event the way it is, and GOSI changing it to a celebration. All in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Chairman, I want to propose if you can do it individually, so that
Okay,
in that
all
way.
right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Executive Director Brown, I think you wanted to say something.
Yes, I was gonna ask Steve, you raise your hand, because you got 2 options. Either we're gonna raise your hand, but Dr. Diasi said individually, and that works better. So I can
Okay,
capture.
all right, so
comment.
I'll call everybody by name. So if you're in favor, Commissioner Tope,
I'm in favor.
Commissioner Dedana,
I'm sorry, can you reframe when we say we're in favor, what are we saying we are in favor of?
okay, so the option 1, I'm talking about option 1. Option 1 is to go ahead with the celebration, go ahead with the event the way it is, just as a celebration with the governor's absence, and then GOSI will communicate that the governor will not be there, and it's not a proclamation but a celebration.
I actually have a question.
Go ahead.
Because that is making an assumption of what GOSI is going to do and how GOSI is going to communicate this. Because GOSI inevitably also doesn't want the governor to look bad. So if you are, I think this is actually where, and even maybe Dr. Brown, you don't know how GOSI is going to communicate this, but if the point is to cancel so that one can send a message, and we are relying on GOSI to send the message, and we are not going to be in the drafting room to draft said message, is the goal that people would have to cancel, would that even be accomplished? Because it could easily just be an announcement saying, this has been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. And nobody really knows. And granted, you can tell people yourself, but if you're relying on GOSI to communicate, what you want to send a message, I don't actually think that's not the right place, or that's not the right venue, or, I don't see how that actually, it's not in GOSI's interest to make the governor look bad. So to just be very blunt, it should not be, by the way, let me be abundantly clear. So if you are relying on somebody else to get a message out for you, if you are doing something to make a message clear, yet you do not have control over said message, I think it's really important to be very, very clear, and be very, very clear about what your intention is. Because yes, your intention could be to send a message about somebody else, but I've lived enough life to know that if you proceed in that manner, you also end up sending a message about yourself too. And so if there is a release that comes out saying, due to unforeseen circumstances, this event is now canceled, we are not immune to also being thought of and a message being sent to about ourselves as well. So I just want to make sure, when we say what Chairman just said about GOSI will send a message saying XYZ, I don't even know if we can promise that. And if you're going to vote based on that, you might be in for a surprise. So, Dr. Brown, do you know how GOSI would communicate this? And do you know if we would be able to have input into how GOSI would communicate a cancellation?
So I was trying to not say anything because I know everybody is we're in a very difficult situation. So when we say GOSI, I want everybody from on this side, we all are GOSI. The commissioners are GOSI, the directors are GOSI, we are a GOSI. So if we put this out, it's not just us on the government side, it's everybody on the call because you were appointed by the governor. So when we say governor, the Governor's Office of Commission, the Commission on African Affairs, we all are GOSI. And I know we deal in a space where it's a state level side and it's a commissioner level side, but I'm just as disappointed as everybody on the call. So it's not a government side versus a commissioner side or a governor side. We all are one. So the communication has to come from the commissioners, how we want to do it. Now, putting out a statement that this event has been canceled, I get it. And me and Vincent are still talking, moving forward on how we get the proclamation made and things like that. So it's not just the proclamation is not going to be read or announced. It's now how is the proclamation going to be, because he can't attend. So we need to figure that out. The event, as we all been talking, is twofold. It was going to be the proclamation reading and the celebration. So I get it. So canceling the event because the proclamation is not read and how it proceed because we invited everybody. I'm okay with either one. How you move, because GOSI can't make a decision for the commission. I'm here to support and get it out. I just want to be clear that I'm just as disappointed too, because I've been over here working, trying to get these things done, handling the right way. And we, for some reason, we couldn't get it to all play a part the way we wanted to do. So we're here. So, Commissioner Adidana, the communication team would be involved, and we would see, because you're absolutely right. We don't want to make the governor look in a certain type of light, but we also don't want the commissioners to catch too many flack. So it's a waterfall of things and river of things to try to figure out how to put this communication out at the last minute. So that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
So I think Commissioner Adidana is the confusion is not, it's not the wording for cancellation. It's the wording if we're going to continue forward with the event on Saturday, that it is no longer a proclamation, a celebration. It's just a celebration. so people can understand that the governor will not be there, because people are coming some people are coming not so much for the celebration, but because the governor will be there. So we're not having an event, people attending with a certain expectation. So we want to be honest with people up front. That's what I was saying. It's not even for the cancellation. Cancellation, I'm sure they would say it's whatever reason it's being canceled. But if we're going to move forward on Saturday, that's the language, to be like, it is no longer a proclamation and celebration. It's just a celebration.
And then on the administrative side too, commissioners, registered is 30 people. So when we start looking at how we can convince the governor's team for a major event of this site, and we all know your boss not coming out for 25 people. So when I go present who's registered and it says 30 people, and I understand how the diaspora work, we're going to get the people, we're going to fill the room. But if the numbers don't say the numbers, when they start looking at things, then it looks like we don't have the numbers to support a visit. And that's just anybody's boss or principal as we move forward. So that it was some other things that layered into this decision, not just he can't be there. And I don't know what happened on that side of the fence. All I could do was put it in front of my book. So
Well, I would like to give my own feedback. And this is what I propose, that the event should still continue. And I know we are disappointed that the governor cannot make it, but if the governor can send a video remarks, I mean, we have to just think of a band-aid. Let me use the word band-aid to fix this broken line of communication and disappointment. And if the lieutenant governor can come, if there's another person in the executive governor's team can be present, I think that will make people feel a little better. Let me put it that way.
We're actually taking a vote. So, yeah. So I think that.
So Mr. Chair, do it option 1 and then option 2. So when they voted, ask if they're voting for option 1
Yeah.
or option 2.
So as I said earlier, option 1 is proceeding with the event as a celebration, and then tweaking the message out. So that's option 1. Option 2 is canceling and moving forward with the other event that we have for the business roundtable. So so I'll start over, Ms. Cheryl. So so I think we've exhausted in terms of conversation. So let's just vote and then move on. Commissioner Tope, I'll start over with you. Are you with option 1 or option 2?
Yes, I'm for option 1.
Thank you. Okay. Commissioner Adedana, option 1 and option 2?
I'm so sorry. Can you please remind me which is option 1 and option 2?
Option 1 is moving forward with the event the way it is as a celebration, and then option 2 is canceling and just moving on with the other event.
I feel like I was a part of this vote many, many months ago, and I wanted to abstain. Oh gosh.
Can't she? Dr. Brown?
Yes.
Can't she
Yeah,
abstain?
I will abstain. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
I know we're voting. Can I ask a quick question? So are we saying no celebration? We just canceled. That's it.
Yeah, because what I heard from a lot of people is that if this is canceled, they won't have the bandwidth to get on to the next to do anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Commissioner Wambui.
There's a question in the chat, please.
Okay.
You need to, it cannot be put in the chat.
Can he give the proclamation at the business conference?
From my conversation yesterday, as I said, what the executive director said is that if this date does not move forward, he can't guarantee any date because of the governor's schedule. So it's most of the time they have things on the schedule, and maybe last minute he'll be able. But again, you can't plan something with last minute notices, especially with our community. So I think that the options we have are the options we have. So,
I don't have a decision for now. I'll abstain.
okay, all right, Commissioner Barry. Option 1, option 2. Commissioner Barry?
Option 2.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Darcy?
Option 1.
Okay. Commissioner Blank?
I'll say option 1, but I also just want to give my sincerest thanks to the community, to the committee that has done all the work to try to make it happen. And I'm sorry that we're in this situation.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Ajayi?
Hi, Mr. Chairman. I had already previously wasn't even going to attend the event, and for that reason, I'd like to abstain for the vote. But I also just want to recognize the hard work for the folks who went out and planning events, and definitely apologies for these circumstances.
All right, thank you. Okay, Commissioner Marifat said option 1 because she had to jump off, so.
That can't count.
Okay. All right, and then Commissioner Njukang.
Option 1.
Okay. Okay. And for me is option 2. But let's see what the votes say.
You can give, you gotta give one option for your abstentions to change their votes, and then you can take the tally. You have to say it though, Mr. Chair. I can't.
Okay. All right. The people that abstain, you have another chance to change your vote, which is Commissioner Dedena, Wambui, and Ajayi.
I'm going to keep my vote to abstain.
Okay. Commissioner Dedena. Okay.
I
Commissioner-
will abstain.
Okay. Commissioner Wambui.
My conscience won't let me go on, so I'm gonna cancel. I'll go for option 2.
Okay. All right, there we have it. So, Cheryl, can we have the tally, please?
One second. Okay, I have the 9 votes. We have 4 for option number 1, 3 votes for option number 2, and 2 votes for abstains.
So I guess option 1 has it. So,
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
because we have to adopt this before we ask a question.
Okay.
I would like to ask a motion to adopt the vote that we just had.
Cheryl, what was your vote? What was your vote again?
I had 4 for option 1, 3 for option 2, and 2 for abstain.
Because I had 4 for option 2. I had
I am
Chair
in a
Vincent.
meeting.
I had Chair
Uh,
Vincent. I had Commissioner Berry. I had
Maureen.
Commissioner one boy.
Yeah.
I guess that was it. Okay.
Yeah, it's 3. Yeah.
All right.
Are you okay now, Dr.
Mhm.
Brown?
Yes. Yeah. Like I said, I had 4 written down. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to ask for a motion to adopt the vote we just had.
Do you need a motion? Because the motion was, the vote already went through.
Okay.
Yeah, it was voted in second, and then so you could close it out with option 1 winning because the way you did
Yeah.
the way
Okay.
you took
Yeah,
the vote.
so option 1 has it. Any
Passed, yeah.
discussion?
So if people are gonna do option 1, then it changes the entire agenda. And so, because we had a long hours of things, so at the end of the day, me personally, I would prefer or ask for a change in time. So instead of from 11 to 3:30 of us just mingling with each other, to change the time from 11 to 1:30 or 11 to 1, so we can come in, we hang out for a couple of hours, and it's not going to be the whole thing anymore, right? Because it changes the whole proclamation meeting and celebration of that.
I'm not
We're not
sure
gonna
if the
have-
college is going to open it up to us for 2 hours.
But before you, Famata, can we discuss this after? Let's let everybody go, and then meet you, Chair and Cheryl. We'll discuss logistics.
Okay.
Can I ask
Okay.
a question? I'm sorry, I didn't ask this earlier.
Okay, go ahead.
Does the vote that we just put forward leave the burden of actually implementing this event on the very people who voted to cancel it? Is that, I don't even know who was fully on the committee,
Yes.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we voted as a whole, so the committee still will figure it out. I mean, we'll still have to lick their wounds and plan it so that we can is a decision that we all made in, the majority have it, so we just have to move forward.
I just want to, that's important to think about, and it would be maybe good in the future to hear from like the committee as a whole at the start, so that people have a sense of what our actual vote means for the real people who have to be responsible to implement the work. And I would also just like to say that those of us who did vote to have it, even if we're not on the committee, to the degree that we can, let's put forward more effort towards supporting it happening, since the burden is falling on the very people who have now expressed through their vote that they don't think this should happen.
Thank you, Dr. Jasmine. I wanted to say the same thing. I think we should
Wait.
also consider that the working group, their vote, I know it falls on the larger group, but we should also consider that after even we vote after the fact, that the working group, even if they voted no, they're still the ones who are going to take up a lot. So having the support from the rest of the team that voted yes, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
May I?
Commissioner Jasmine, that was an
Mr.
excellent
Chair.
point. And so thank you for saying that. I guess my question also is also for the future, because again, I was surprised that this was going to be an emergency full commission meeting or as full as possible. Yeah, I guess what part of this should have been decided with just the working group and what part of this should have been to the whole commission. I jumped on the call, I got a call, I came. and maybe there was a discussion that was had about why it was done this way versus not. So I'm potentially ignorant to that, and I totally accept and respect that if that's the case. But also highlighting what Commissioner Jasmine said, which is a good point. What, like a vote to discuss this in mass versus within the working group by itself, again, unless a conversation with the working group happened and I wasn't a part of it. I think that's also interesting just for me to know in terms of process, like how things get decided in moments of like triage / crisis. Like it goes straight to the commission versus it, as opposed to staying within the committee that it first impacts, and they make the decision, which then goes to the commission for approval. I think that would also just be really helpful to know as we get our bearings on how Robert's rules and commission business occur.
I don't think this was a Robert's rule, and this was the chair calling because he wanted to get the insight of everybody here, not just those people he talked to. So this was let me get insight from everybody here, what the issue is from everybody. So it was the chair's leadership on this one.
Sorry, was there a question for me?
No, but Tope does have his hand up.
Okay, yeah, Tope, sorry.
Yes, good afternoon. And I just want to take a quick minute to second to thank the working group for all the hard work they put into making this event happen. And do agree with Commissioner Blanks that, the decision whether to continue with the event or perhaps cancel it or, do something else really should have been on the working group more so than myself, who I haven't been active in it. I just felt like because they put in a lot of effort, then we should still see it through. But if they don't feel as if that should be the case, because I don't know how the working group voted as a total, but if they're saying that they don't want to go ahead with the event, I will have no choice but to change my vote and, go along with them. Because I think, whenever you put in a lot of effort to do something a certain way and it gets changed last minute, it's only fair for the burden of, making that decision to fall on the working group. That's how I feel about it. And thanks for bringing that point up, Commissioner Blanks.
My intention was not to bring it up to force any type of change after the vote's been made, but it only occurred to me in hearing the final vote and who voted in which direction that it sounded like the people who voted for 2 were largely the working group. And for me, it would have been helpful at the start to hear a report out from that committee, this is where we are and this is what we propose to do as a committee. And then the rest of us could have just given insight rather than voting on something that we are largely ignorant to many points regarding. Because I would also change my vote at this point, hearing that the people that will have to implement are the people who said no, because that is the working group. And I was not aware of that at the start.
Okay, yeah, understood. The reason why we took this the step is because, like I said, I was supposed to get back to the executive director actually at 12 today to let him know what our decision was, and I thought it will be better for the whole commission to make that decision, and I 100% agree that the people that have been working on it should have been given priority, but because it's an emergency and we needed to get back, that's why it was done this way. So I said my apologies to everybody. There's it's not just the work that has been put in. I know on Saturday from the health ed, Commissioner Wambui and I mean, she had to leave to go pick up a check for this same event, and I was just waiting for after the vote because we still have a price tag of $6,000 that we still have to pay for the food. So those are all the things that commitments and sacrifices that were being made for this event. So I do understand what has been done and what everybody, I mean, most of the people in the committee have put in. But if we vote as a group, as they say in football, go as a team, we die as a team. So,
But Mr. Chair, I know I don't want to hold this up, but it is the world in Robert's rules hearing that it could be a motion to rescind what just happened and then take a revote. I don't know if we want to do that.
Whoever made the motion can rescind it.
Yes.
Who made the motion? Dr. Brown?
I don't know. I wasn't. I was listening to the options, and I want to say it might have been messed up, but I think the chair put the options out there.
yeah, I put it up.
And
So there was no first or second?
no, it was no
No.
first and no second.
So technically the vote did not
Doesn't
count
even count.
Doesn't even
because it
count.
wasn't properly presented.
Yep.
Yeah, Ajayi, please don't jump off yet, because if you do leave, we're not gonna have a quorum. Did he leave?
We have 8 commissioners, so nobody can leave at this moment.
Mm.
Lock the doors, y'all.
So
Okay.
can somebody make a motion that we cancel the vote in the first and the second? I mean,
Now we
cancel the
need to
event.
make a motion to take the vote.
Hold on, Cheryl. Hold on. Mr. Chair, we need somebody to make the motion that we just one motion that we cancel the event. Because that'll give us, if we don't cancel the event, we know that the event moved on, and then the working group can move on from there. And then you need a first and a second.
Okay.
Motion to.
I make a motion to cancel the event. Oh, Maureen, go ahead.
Yeah, I make the motion to cancel the event.
Okay, so we have Commissioner Berry the first and Commissioner Wambui the second. Now,
Okay, so I have to call everybody again. So
Supposed to ask if there are
You can
questions on the motion.
you can have it discussion. You have these questions or
Yeah.
discussion right now.
all right, any discussion?
I see Sophie's hand is up.
Yeah.
No, he just didn't put it down.
Yeah, it's been up, yeah.
so no discussion.
Yeah. So I think the way we'll do it, all in favor for canceling the event, just raise your hand.
Sope, Adidana, Dr. Dicey, and NJ.
Huh?
Yeah,
Raise your hand.
Raise your hands if you,
What's the question? Because I'm just seeing hand raises.
yeah, if
Raise your hand.
okay, raise your hand if you're in favor of canceling.
I got 5.
5 of
Okay. So they might say no.
I had Jasmine. Where did she? Okay,
I see 4, including myself.
I know. Who did I mark down? Oh, I recorded it twice. Sorry about that. Okay, we need Commissioner Tope.
With the
Sorry, what are we doing? Are we putting something in the chat, or are we?
No,
You're
raise
You're
your
raising your
hand.
hand if you want to cancel Saturday's event. You're raising your hand in the app.
Right, but how many other people in the working group are actually motioning for a cancellation?
You just
All
we
right,
just
I
need a
motion to
vote right
cancel.
now.
So are we voting to cancel, yes or no, and 2 being yes, or how? What's the
No,
option?
there's a vote happening at the moment, and those who have raised their hands are voting or seconding the motion. The motion has been put forth to cancel by Fatmata. It was Commissioner Fatmata. It was seconded by Commissioner Maureen. And now there are 5 hands up, including yours, to approve that motion.
Yes, to approve the motion.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Chair, we got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses. You can go to the nays and abstentions next.
Okay. So Commissioner, myself, Commissioner Maureen, Commissioner Tope, Commissioner Barry, and Commissioner Blank.
We need to ask for nays and abstains.
Sorry, say again? Yeah, so hold on. Yeah, I'm starting over. So myself, in favor, Commissioner Tope in favor, Commissioner Blank, is your hand still up? Because I see it's down.
Yes, I thought you were moving on.
I'm
Okay, yeah, Commissioner
still
Blank.
stuck on one meeting.
And Commissioner Wambui is also yes. So Commissioner Dedana, you still are you abstaining?
I'm
or
abstaining, yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Commissioner and Darcy.
Well, I'll still keep my vote to have the event, but it looks like majority will win, so I'll still stand on having the event because I don't have the bandwidth to do anything at the time.
Okay.
So you're
Yeah.
in no.
Commissioner Njukang. Commissioner Njukang?
Yes, Chair. I maintain my vote.
Oh, okay.
I maintain my vote to keep the event. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll ask one more time, Commissioner Dedana. Do you want to keep your vote to abstain?
Yes, because I wanted to abstain last time and I didn't want to combine the 2 events and having the governor at the proclamation, at the celebration. And I felt pressured to do, or not felt pressure, but there was a huge campaign and I accepted and I relented and we are where we are now. So I'm going to abstain and I have learned my lesson.
Okay. All right, so the ayes have it. So our motion is so adopted.
All right.
How soon can
Thank you.
How soon can GOSI send out a publication indicating that the event has been canceled so that we can circulate that in the community?
I'll have a conversation with the executive director once this is done so that we know we will agree on the way forward.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm really sorry that, yeah, this is unfortunate on multiple levels. And yeah, Commissioners Fatmata, Maureen, Dr. Dasi, I'm really sorry. You guys deserved better for your work. So I'm really sorry that it had to turn out that way.
We all did, and we all do. And I want us to, honestly, I'll end it here. I know we are commissioners at the pleasure of the governor, but I also don't believe that he would want us to just slither away if we are unhappy. So I really hope that we take a lesson out of this to make sure that we are seen and heard at every level. Because the reality is the loudest people are the ones that get the benefit. You know, I know that it's innate in us to not always want to shake the tree, and I understand that. But I want us to really understand in this sphere, at this level, if we want to be seen and want to be taken seriously with all that we do and contribute to the state, we have to make sure that they understand that we can't just be put aside when everybody else is being elevated. And we have to make sure they understand it. Not in an obnoxious way, obviously, because number one, it's not even in us, but we have to make sure we are loud and we are heard and we are seen. Please, I am asking, I'm begging us to make sure that we represent our community to the governor as much as we represent the governor to our community.
Yeah, I hear you. And I think that would be a perfect agenda piece for the next GOSI meeting, whenever that happens. I'm not sure what the next date is, but you know, a part of being seen, a part of being felt is programming. And there is definitely a discussion to be had there about how we can be more robust, and what we could do differently moving forward. But yeah, I just want to echo another huge sorry to my fellow working group members. Yeah, like I said, you deserve better, and I'm sorry you didn't get it.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I said this meeting was gonna be 15 minutes, and it took longer than I expected. There are still events happening today that we have to attend. I encourage everybody to attend the Montgomery County African Diaspora event. Is at 6 o'clock. I'll definitely be there. I know Dr. Brown is going to be there. And I'll still encourage everybody to continue to work hard in your respective communities. I was told yesterday there's a form we will be completing when we are going to this event, so that GOSI will have a record of our events. And as I said, my chair's activities, I encourage everybody to also share theirs and things that they've been involved in their communities, because I know you guys do a lot, you know, and so that the office will know the things that we are doing in our various communities. We still have another event, which is the business roundtable and conference. I'll encourage everybody to support the business committee, so that it will be a robust event. As we heard earlier, I know Dr. Brown gingerly mentioned it, that the people that have signed up for events is not encouraging to maybe the powers that be. So let's work hard to get make the business conference a success. And we'll find a way to move forward and then do better next year. So I would like move a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor? Say
Aye.
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 All right, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Brown. Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome,
Thank you.
everybody.
Chair,
Have a good.
I'll call you later.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.